Good afternoon.
This is our first update post-lockdown and we're happy to be here. You happy to be here, Ben?
Yeah, well, you've got to do my socials, so been busy, back out there working.
Yeah, it's kind of almost like lockdown was a distant memory, although the flow-on effects are not ideal. And the weather's not ideal, but good excuse for a new winter scarf, so there's always an upside. Hey, so today we wanted to talk to you because many of you will be keen, property commentators or followers, about perhaps what you might have noticed, which is a lack of any kind of definitive media commentary on the property market outside of speculation. And there's a couple of reasons for that. What we all anticipated that was that pre and post lockdown markets would be very, very different beasts. And so in order for the media to report with any authority, they'll normally look for a chunk of data, possibly over a period of about 3 months, that they can report on retrospectively. And so until we get that 3-month period, it's going to be very hard for them to talk, about trends in the market and also about the various regions and what's being found there. So we thought what it might be helpful to do is tell you about what we've been finding post-lockdown, in case it gives you some information about, whether or not you should buy or sell in the current market. So in lockdown, we talked to you at length about the fact that we were calling all our buyers for the year and seeing if they still wanted to buy property. And the reason that we did that is because we too anticipated that we would be coming out to a very flat or buyer short market, but it actually doesn't seem to be the case. So we did tell you over the lockdown period, we sold 3 properties under lockdown. And then in level 3, we launched 4 properties. And it was very different conditions for buyers. I'll let Ben talk about that because he fronts all the buyer side. How did you run those properties?
Yeah, so when they bought in level 3, obviously we were allowed to do private viewings, but we were restricted to 2 viewings per day. So it was important that we got as many people through each property that we had on the market, just to keep the activity up there in the absence of being able to do open homes. So we had a great uptake on private viewings during that time. When they announced level 2...
Just on the buyer, the level 2 buyers, did you find that they were buyers that were new to the market, or were they people that were looking pre-lockdown? And what were their motivation?
The majority of people were probably pre-lockdown buyers initially at level 3, and then as we started to move to level 2, a whole lot of new interested parties started coming into the market. So you had a bit of a crossover of buyers from those people looking pre, and then now the new people coming in. So if we talk about the activity now in level 2 and the open homes, really well attended. All the properties that we've got have had great interest, and we've had a lot of success since moving to level 2.
So many of you out there would have been you may have done private viewings and now have transitioned into our new norm, which is open homes, although slightly less restricted in the numbers. But you would have seen that the activity certainly hasn't died off. So during level 2, again, we launched 4, and then during level 3, we've launched 4. We've actually managed to sell 5 properties post lockdown and get 3 more under offer. 6 of those were across last week. What did you see for the 3 that sold? What were the number of offers and conditions?
Multiple offers on every property that we've actually had recently, which is fantastic. So it really gives a lot of energy into that. It's competitive, of course. And the conditions were generally pretty good. There's probably a little bit more finance. I think the banks want to look at people's positions a little bit more than they probably did pre, but apart from that, very few conditions popping up.
Yeah, so if you are an active buyer and very keen, kind of realistic, because bargain hunters are not really going to work in this market. They might want to wait to down the track. Well, we never really recommend waiting, because we've said this before. If you're waiting for the bottom of the market, again, it's going to be that media thing. You're only going to know the bottom when the media starts hyping that it's on the way back up again. Yeah. So there really is no better time to buy than today, but it really just depends on your motivations for buying. So if you want to wait, but if you're keen to get a roof over your head, if you're going to be offering, you are still really going to be needing to put your best foot forward, try and get your finance sorted out, and do a lot of that due diligence prior.
Yeah.
Some of the great things for buyers, what are we finding with the subject to sales? What are you?
Yeah, we had a few of those, particularly around level 3, but maybe at the moment, and we talked about in our previous posts, that might become a bit more of a norm. But again, being that competitive out there at the moment, it's going to be a little bit difficult. But
all of those subject to sales people do have to offer more in order to make that attractive.
Well, I mean, to get the contract across the line, of course, you've got to entice the vendor to work with you, because there's an element of risk of, if you can't sell your property. But it definitely feels a lot different. Of course, we don't know what the next few months are going to have in front of us.
But for the vendors, I mean, right now, the conversations that we're having with our vendors that we're selling in spring, that on the whole, they're coming forward now.
Yeah.
Because they really do actually want to take advantage of the market that we know. And what we know in Wellington is that stock levels are beyond low. They've never been lower, not in the 10 years we've been in real estate. They are 529 listings and incredibly low. And money is ludicrously cheap, which has seen the return of the investor. Absolutely, their investors are back. They haven't been here for years. They're out in full force because they know right now they can get houses that are servicing and giving themselves an income.
Yeah, I mean, the affordability has never been better.
Yeah. So anyway, that's us touching on, some motives for buyers or sellers. If you want to kind of discuss any of it in more detail, don't ever hesitate to give us a call. We'll give you updates as we feel that they're relevant, and we hope this was helpful.
Thanks for watching.
All right, ciao.